Is there anybody around here who was born on the 11th of November? Is there anybody called Portia who was born on the 11th of November? If it is you, speak to people next to me. Portia. If your name is Portia, you are born on the 11th of November. I need to see you. What's your name?
Portia.
Your name is Portia.
Yes.
The Lord spoke to me about a woman, Portia, who was born on the 11th of November. Is that you?
Yes.
You were born on the 11th of November.
Yes.
I am seeing Portia with 3 children. Is that you?
Yes.
The Lord wants me to help you because of a man called Mukululi.
Mukululi is my husband.
Mukululi is your husband.
Yes, man of God.
Mukululi doesn't stay here. Mukululi stays in Cape Town.
Yes,
because
man of
I see he's working in ADT. Is that correct?
Yes, man of God.
He works in ADT.
Yes.
But last week when he left to come to Johannesburg to spend time with the family, something happened at work. They broke into a car.
Yes, man of God.
And they say it is him. He took things and he ran.
Yes.
But that was not true.
Yes, man of God.
So they have suspended him.
Yes, man of God.
Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Where is he now?
I left him at home.
You left him at home?
Yes.
You left your husband at home?
Yes, man of
Was he
God.
in bed when you left?
Yes.
In the house? Did you leave him? He was in bed when he left?
Yes, man.
Did he tell you he's going anywhere?
No.
He didn't tell you anything, or he told you that he will be at home?
No, he didn't tell me anything.
All right. Hey. When you left, he stood. He checked. You are gone.
From the dusty outskirts of Johannesburg, a humble gathering emerged, a single voice quietly calling out to a city hungry for hope. In February 2002, Alleluia Ministries International, AMI, began in Lyndhurst, Johannesburg, South Africa. What started as a small Bible-believing community rooted in one man's vision would grow, over time, into a multi-continental movement. The transformation of one man's calling into global influence holds lessons for ambition, faith, leadership, and the power of daring to dream bigger than your beginnings. Pastor Alph Lukau didn't arrive fully formed on a pedestal. Little is publicly detailed about his earliest years, yet what we know is this. He embraced a vision of world-reaching ministry rather than small-town service. On the AMI website, he is described as the founder and general overseer of AMI, with branches in Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, North and South America. That goal of global reach is baked into the very DNA of his church's vision. In those early years, AMI set itself apart by declaring a mission not merely to gather worshipers, but to build disciples. The website states the church is not a church of members but a family of disciples, and that it has a mandate to empty hell and fill up heaven. It is this language of bold spiritual ambition that captured attention, a small seed with capacity for vast growth. The imagery resonated with people who sought something more than routine worship. They wanted transformation. By emphasizing a strong statement of faith, AMI aligned itself with charismatic evangelical sensibilities. Their official statement of faith includes belief in the baptism of the Holy Spirit with supernatural gifts, along with the bodily resurrection of Jesus. For many, that kind of theology spoke to deeper longings, healing, deliverance, empowerment. It allowed AMI to pivot beyond Sunday services into public events, media, testimonies, matters that travel well across borders. While some ministries grow slowly over decades, AMI's growth seemed to accelerate. Their website lists locations not only in South Africa, Namibia, Zambia, the DRC, Angola, but also in Europe and South America. This geographic spread is remarkable for a church founded only in 2002. It hints at two things. First, a leadership willing to invest in expansion. Second, a message packaged for global consumption. Alph Lukau himself presents a compelling figure in this narrative. His biography declares him to be an accomplished Bible scholar, international speaker, best-selling author, and visionary leader. He is said to hold an MBA from College de Paris and a doctorate in theology from Logos University, USA/UK. While such credentials are publicly claimed, as always in the world of ministry, it remains wise to adopt a discerning posture. Credentials may reflect branding as much as academic history. The story of ascendance is filled with moments of leap of faith rather than incremental steps. Lukau and AMI embraced media early, online platforms, YouTube, social networks, to cast their message beyond local churches. The strategy paid off. Even from Lagos, Nigeria, you can tap into sermons live-streamed in Johannesburg or testimonies from Lusaka in Europe. That digital reach breaks the traditional geographic mold. But no story of rise is without tension or controversy. Larger ministries attract scrutiny. While AMI emphasizes its humanitarian efforts, feeding programs, educational bursaries, and medical outreach campaigns are noted in Lukau's bio. At the same time, as with many global churches, critics question transparency, accountability, and authenticity of spectacle. For a documentary-style exploration, such critiques are part of the story, not to undermine, but to contextualize. Consider the visual storyboard. A modest meeting in Johannesburg, later a packed auditorium of thousands, later a global conference with delegates from multiple continents. The pace is dramatic. Lukau's own voice frames the urgency of the prophetic voice, rising in this generation. A 24-hour turnaround of prophecy becomes viral online. These are the moments where the obscure becomes visible, the local goes global, the private belief becomes public spectacle. For viewers watching from anywhere in the world, there is a common thread: the hunger for meaning, identity, and transcendence. Lukau's narrative taps into that by offering both personal stories of change and a bigger story of movement. From a small church in Sandton to international campuses and online reach, AMI models a modern global church. From Lagos to London, Johannesburg to New York, the message travels. Yet behind the dazzling facade of growth there are shadows of human experience. Leadership pressure, expectations, the burden of expansion, the risk of losing authenticity in the rush to scale. A church that once met in modest halls now rents venues, broadcasts in high definition, produces slick events. The question becomes, can the core mission survive when the platform grows? Part of what keeps the story relatable is the reminder that the foundational moment was simple. People gathered to worship, someone preached, someone believed. The leap to global wasn't the starting line. It was built on humble beginnings. That foundation matters. For those of us sitting in Lagos or Ibadan or beyond, the message is, your small group might become something bigger. The difference lies in vision and constancy. Another layer is the entrepreneurial edge. Lukau's biography mentions not only ministry but entrepreneurship, real estate, marketing, technology, manufacturing. Whether that is core ministry or personal portfolio is part of the complex mix that many modern megachurch movements contain. Ministry meets business. That duality invites intrigue, caution, and inspiration simultaneously. The documentary style also invites personal testimonies. The single mother in Namibia whose life changed at an AMI crusade. The youth in Europe who found purpose through a live stream. The pastor in a small city who affiliated a branch and suddenly had global connections. These stories underscore that rise from obscurity isn't just about one man, but about the ripple effect of one man's vision touching thousands. In the case of AMI, the language of family, rather than members, seeks to shift culture. Community becomes identity. In a world where many feel disconnected, such a church promises belonging. The phrase, not a church of members, but a family of disciples, invites viewers to feel, you can belong, you can be part of something bigger. That sentiment travels well in both Africa and diasporas. However, growth always raises questions. How is leadership selected? How is accountability handled? How are finances audited? These questions are not unique to AMI. They are part of the larger story of global ministries in the digital age. For an audience in Lagos or anywhere, the takeaway is that influence demands integrity. The rise is meaningful only if the core mission stays intact. For Pastor Alph Lukau, the global influence is visible in his speaking engagements, conferences, books, and digital footprint. From small group to world stage. From local sermons to global online audience. The journey captures the imaginary of many young leaders who start unseen and dream big. His story becomes a blueprint of sorts. Vision plus execution plus engagement equals influence. But with that, the cost is real. One memorable scene. The auditorium lights go low. The camera focuses on the watch. The countdown begins. The pastor steps to the podium, and the music crescendos. A testimony is shared of healing. A smartphone live streams the moment to thousands. That snapshot captures the modern ministry ethos. Movement, moment, message, multi-platform. The rise is not just in size, but in spectacle and reach. From the vantage of someone in Lagos watching the broadcast, the message feels immediate. A ministry that began in 2002 in Johannesburg now has relevance for someone thousands of kilometers away. That connectivity marks the era. Traditional church boundaries blur. Influence becomes global rather than regional. Pastor Lukau's story thus becomes a case study in modern ministry dynamics. In concluding this story, we reflect. The rise from obscurity to global influence is not purely about numbers, but about impact. How many lives changed? How many entered hope? How many grew in faith? The narrative of Pastor Alph Lukau and AMI invites viewers to consider. What is my obscure beginning? What is my vision for global reach, whatever form it takes? The key is vision plus faithful execution.